The scene along the Potomac River in Washington, no longer a rescue mission, but a recovery mission after an American Airlines flight collided midair with a military Black Hawk helicopter last night. 64 people were on that plane. 3 soldiers were on the helicopter. There were no survivors. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy calls this absolutely preventable.
U.S. Figure Skating, which is based in Colorado Springs, has confirmed several of its members were aboard the American Airlines flight, which flew out of Wichita, Kansas.
Denver 7's Veronica Costa went down to figure skating headquarters and spoke with the people in this very tight-knit community.
Outside of U.S. Figure Skating headquarters in Colorado Springs, all is quiet. On Thursday, the organization confirming several of its figure skating members were aboard the passenger jet that crashed with the military helicopter in Washington, D.C. Wednesday night.
You know, it's a tragedy for many.
Joy Weinberg is a former Team USA pair figure skater. She's spent years intertwined in a community tightly knit by the sport.
And I know when one person hurts in the skating community, everyone hurts with them because it's very tight-knit and close. So, you know, a lot of us all know each other and have known each other for the majority of our lives.
The tragedy is unimaginable, especially for those who've spent time in the cockpit of passenger jets, just like American Airlines Flight 5342.
I've flown this airplane. I've landed at Reagan hundreds of times.
Pilot Chad Kendall says Reagan is a dynamic and busy airspace, and the tough part will be figuring out what went wrong, what caused a passenger jet to collide with a military helicopter.
We've already seen some preliminary recordings that have come out for the controller asking the helicopter if they have the jet in sight, then flying in behind the jets. They go through all of the factors that are at play when an accident occurs. They look at training records, they look at the aircraft, they look at maintenance history, they look at operations, they look at the weather, they look at air traffic control.
For those like Weinberg, who grew up on the ice, training in Colorado Springs now is about being there for those who need it most.
A lot of people know each other or have known each other for a long time, and a lot of these lives lost were young people, which especially makes it extremely tragic, as of course they had a lot of life left to live.
In Colorado Springs, Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
And you can find the latest on the plane crash investigation on our website, denver7.com. There, you'll find more information about the plane involved, who was on board, and hear the newly appointed Transportation Secretary's message to Americans about flying.